Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry that I've taken so long to get back to you guys. I was nursing my husband as well as myself back to health all last week. Um, I don't know what we had. Something ran through this house, child. And I, as you can hear, you can still hear some remnants, of congestion there, but we're back. We're back. Um, I didn't watch this latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, so we're not here for episode 14. We're here for episode 13, Love and Marriage Huntsville, To Be or Yacht to Be. So Vanessa, she made it to Destin. Melody sits and shares with her, everything that's been going on. All is well so far. Martell and Marlene are also talking about the trip. She's just having the best time. She's just having herself a time. She's reflecting on the past, and she's just, this is a breath of fresh air that they can all get together. Everybody's getting along, because she didn't think that a family vacation with, both sides would ever happen again. She was devastated when they divorced. We go back to when Martell shared that news with his mom, and she broke down crying because she loves Melody. She loves her grandchildren. She loves them together, but she's just happy that they're here. They've finally gotten to a place where everybody can coexist, and there is no mess and arguing or none of that. So she's happy. Back in the room with Vanessa, Mel is sharing with her, that Tisha and Marceau stopped by, and I don't know what it is about. Mel just seems like, when it comes to people she doesn't really like, when it comes to Destiny or Tisha and sometimes Martell, it's almost as if she wants to be in a place of discord with them. Like, she wants to keep that momentum going, as opposed to there being healing and real peace. Instead of it realistically being that, she like diminishes, the growth, I should say. It's that, well, I mean, we okay. We ain't that cool. Like, don't get, it's like, girl, if you okay, then you okay. If you cool, you cool. If you cordial, you cordial. If you're getting along, you're getting along. Don't try to downplay it or diminish it like that's not what's going on. As to it's almost like she's trying to, save face. She's trying to stand firm on, I'm keeping my peace. In actuality, girl, no. No, you know that you were happy that Martell came and he brought you Cracker Jacks. He was happy about that. So don't downplay it like he trying to get with me and he was in. Girl, don't do that. Don't do that. She did that a couple of times, or at least I picked up on that. Like, don't diminish things, because I mean, if you can be cordial and cool with Tisha, then just be cordial and cool with Tisha. The fact that you have to highlight, well, we ain't that cool. I was just tolerating her. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Her tone is very fake sometimes. I really want her to check that. Martell, excuse me, over there with Martell and Marlene, they're, like I said, they're happy about the trip. They're hopeful for more family trips, in the future. All right, Melody, she got the family a yacht for their last day in Destin. And so they're about to get on the yacht. They can't leave just yet, though, because there's a storm coming. So they gotta, sit in the boat, or excuse me, sit in the yacht for a while. They finna get the karaoke started, and Mel, she think it's cute. Let's play one of my songs. And Martell was like, let's not. And she knew what she was doing. In this episode, Melody was she was poking the bear. And I don't know why. It was as if she was trying to trigger him. Or figure out if she could still trigger him. I don't know, but there were a lot of instances in this episode where it was just unnecessary for her to say certain things, to move a certain way. Like with this one particular, why are we bringing up the music? You know that the music is triggering for him, so why are you playing? Anyway, because he don't think it's funny at all. Okay, Maurice and Marceau back in Huntsville. They need to talk. Maurice has to, we're not gonna go we're not gonna go to do the play-by-play, but Maurice needed to sit Marceau down and share with him Kimmy's diagnosis. Marceau says that Tisha, wasn't very clear. She kind of made it seem like they didn't know, but they know. And so he cries. This is refreshing to see as well. Though sad, but still, seeing the brotherly love and seeing Marceau be there for his brother, and share with him, you don't have to be okay. You don't have to be at peace with any of this. You can cry about it. Like, you don't have to be strong. It's no need in you trying to be strong. Both of you guys can't be sitting up saying, I'm trying to be strong for the other. No, both of y'all can be weak with one another. This is a very life-altering situation. And so if you're not strong, if you're not okay, it just is what it is. Anyway, they talk about Kimmy's diagnosis. They both cry. They both shedding tears. Maurice feels like it's his fault. He has all of he done really ran through the different scenarios. If I hadn't done this, if I had done that, it's like there was nothing that you could have done. There was, like, granted, I mean, the only thing that you could have done was go and, get a screening or go to the doctor a lot sooner, and they have found it a lot sooner. But even still, it's not a stage 4 situation. I think that she was stage 2. And so they still caught it early, but we go through I feel like that's one of the stages of grief. That blaming yourself. Okay, back on the yacht. They're coasting now. Martell Jr., he driving the boat. They're dancing. Everybody's having a good time. And then Vanessa got to bring up the fact that, it wasn't always this peaceful. Why are we doing that? Okay, if it's like, this is really nice. Period. The fact that she had to throw in, this is nice. Because, it wasn't always nice. Wasn't always this peaceful around here. Y'all wasn't always acting right. It just wasn't necessary, because now we're going to have to talk about all of that, talk about the past and all of that. But anyway, Martell says that, he was just as affected by this divorce emotionally as Melody was. Melody, she want clarity on that, So you healed now? Like, so are you 100% healed? What's going on? She gonna say, are you healed from your divorce? Like she didn't divorce him. She wants him to explain in detail, how have you healed? He brings up, the fact that she's been very passive aggressive and he's been letting it all slide, which is true. Of course, she tries to act confused. We have to run the footage of all the times during the trip where she was being petty with him. And he has been very patient. Very patient. He hasn't been catty with her or, biting the bait. Vanessa she suggests that they continue to respect one another. Marlene comes in there and she joins the conversation. They continue on. Martell says that, he accepts, Melody and her music for what it is. He can't allow that to trigger him anymore, because just like he's, healing and growing, that writing that music, recording that music was healing and therapy for her. And so he recognizes that. He gonna let her cook. Marlene says she says she just happy to be with her family. She's sipping her drink. She happy because she don't really want to dive into no deep talk. And Melody is like, did you when they were little, did y'all talk about things? Like, did you guys sit and talk about stuff, or did you guys kind of like brush it off? And Marlene said she was just raised in a different time, which is true. A lot of people from her generation ain't sitting and talking about feelings, because for what? Talk about feelings for what? It ain't gonna help none. It ain't gonna help none. So what we talking about the feelings for? She was a single mother. She said she had to work. So no, it wasn't no time to just sit and talk. Melody, she mentioned that Martell was bullied. And she says, have you guys ever talked about that? And no. Again, she had to work. No, she wasn't sitting up talking about Martell, because in her mind, that's whining. I'm like, now, wait a minute. If your 7 or 8-year-old coming there telling you that somebody is bullying them, Marlene, you need to care. It's not whining. He's not whining. Whew. Marlene say, she ain't worried about that. That's whining to her. Melody, of course, she's gonna, now she's, gonna turn this into a, oh, no wonder Martell is the way he is. Although that's true. Everybody's makeup and who they are and, how they move about in life stems from your mama and them, your upbringing. So, I mean, there's some truth to that, but you can't put it all on Marlene. You can't put it all on her. She just tells Melody that y'all are just lucky to have one another, because she didn't have help. She didn't have a co-parent. It was just her. Mel's still in there throwing jabs. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but she just feels like being petty. She just feels like poking the bear. She laughing, because she knows she's just doing a lot. She knows she is. Good thing Martell is just ignoring her. So they go to dinner. And Martell wants he and Melody to sit and talk. She looking like, why we sitting alone? The family's over there. What is this? She's automatically annoyed. Martell says he don't want any trouble, but he starts talking about the past and how he's trying to be accountable. And Melody, she got one question. Did I ever give you head? And he says, yes, you did. She's like, I'm just making sure. Because she got debunked that. Don't be out here saying you wasn't getting no head from me. She feels like if there's some things that he wanted to get off his chest, and he needed to call Dr. Francis and not be pulling her to the side to have a private conversation. Martell doesn't want the negativity, though. He's not here for that. He changes the subject and, asks about how the trip has been for her and all of that. She says that she's been enjoying it. She didn't appreciate Marceau and Tisha being invited, but okay. To her, they gonna always be her enemies. So for her, what you bringing them around me for anyway? Them my enemies. Don't bring them around me. Martell is confused because he's not understanding why Melody can't get past this whole whatever beef she has with the Scotts. He's confused about that because he didn't I guess he felt like she should be over it. Melody starts reminding him of all the times, he done been out here venting to the Scotts, and she ain't here for them. And she ain't here for Melody, for Martell trying to make fetch happen, because she done with him. She been done with him. She triggered now, talking about that smear campaign he went on, which he did. If he could get anybody in his corner, he was doing that. And she's also tipsy. Melody also seems a bit tipsy in this scene. But, listen, that's neither here nor there. But that could be that's why she's so short-fused. Martell, it's clear he wants to talk. It's clear that he just wants to talk. And Melody is being a little bit argumentative in this moment. Like I said, she's petty. She's being petty. She's triggered. She walk around one big trigger. The conversation about to go left. It's like, girl, we don't need all that. We don't need all that. Martell is like, listen, let's reel it in. I'm just trying to tell you that I'm sorry. Basically, he, is accountable. Of course, she's like, well, what's the difference in this than the last time? And of course, he says, well, I really have grown. I really do understand that I was the problem. I was the It was my fault that you and I got a divorce. It's my fault that you stopped giving me head, that you stopped giving me some. Like, it was my fault. That's my fault. She receives it. She receives his, she receives him being accountable and all of that. Because he's very apologetic. Martell seems like it's obvious he's grown. I don't know if anybody else can see the growth, but I see the growth in Martell Hope. I really do. Didn't think I'd be able to say that, and not this soon either, but he done grew up. He done grew up a little bit. They're going to at least be, friends. She's hopeful that they can get back to the root of why they're even together, which is friendship. So, hopefully so. Mel and Martell, they end up talking, it's the next day, they're about to head out. And she tells him, I was kind of shocked you wanted to sit and talk private, like, what we doing that for? But they both can agree that this was a positive situation. It was positive for the children. Martell is looking forward to more trips if she'll have them. He thanks her for, having he and his mom on the trip. She's good with it. As long as we both respect boundaries on both sides, everybody gonna be all right. Everybody gonna be all right. All right, that was essentially it for that episode. I'll be glad when we wrap it on up. I'm tired. I'm really tired of coming here and reviewing it, honestly, because what are we doing? I don't know why we got to keep going through these episodes of nothing. They really are filler. They've really been filler-like for the past few episodes. Honestly, it's not been much happening, not been much going on. I feel like after Bernard them was at the party, at the function, and Kiki them and Wanda, once all of that fizzled, the season did too. We could have wrapped it on up, honestly, but here we are. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.